Hello, welcome to pensandwrenches.com, a site dedicated to restoring sinners to God through the proclamation of the gospel and equipping the saints for the work of the ministry. Today, I wanted to talk to you about something that's been on my mind regarding risk versus reward. When it comes to evangelism, a lot of people look at it as something that is going to happen to them. They look at it as risk, where we really need to be looking at it as a reward, that evangelism gets rewards. When he talks about risk in evangelism, it's negative thinking. It's a poor man's way of looking at things. And it's talking about in terms of myself, like what's going to happen to me is self-preservation. Whereas reward is positive. You're looking at it, it's encouraging. It's a rich man's way of looking at things. And it says it's loving your neighbor as yourself. It's loving those that you witness to. It's what you have to gain, not what you have to lose. It's risk says, what if I do this thing? What will happen to me if I share the gospel? Where reward looks at it and says, what if I don't do this thing? And what happens if I don't share the gospel? Well, what happens when people don't share the gospel is those never get to hear the gospel. And they could end up in a horrible place called hell for eternity. But we're here to share the gospel. We are here to proclaim the gospel. We are witnesses for Christ's sake. We are ambassadors and called to a higher calling. Risk makes you feel despair, makes you feel alone, where reward gives you hope, gives you joy. You're a part of the family. It gives you true fellowship in the church. Risk says it's purposeless, it's meaningless, it's indifference, it's apathetic. It says, what's the point? Where reward talks about goals, it talks about aspirations, ambitions, it talks about giving glory and honor to God alone. And what risk really is laziness, it's wickedness, like in the parable of the talents in Matthew 25:14-30, where it talks about the man who buried his talent because he was scared of his master. Fear came about him and it kept him from doing a thing. What reward is diligence and it's meaningful. Risk has short-term goals. Rewards have long-term goals and long-term rewards and a legacy that lasts for generations to come, even into eternity. Now, with risk, you can miss the goal. But with risk, there is no goal. Can you miss a goal when it comes to rewards? Yes, but for the most part, we're just not there yet. You know, we're not, this race is not won until our last dying breath. The feelings that we get when it comes to risk is devastation and the end of the world. Whereas the feelings that we get if we miss the goal and rewards, it's just a minor setback. It's a learning opportunity to grow and to mature. This causes you, in risk, it causes you to give up and do something else, something completely different. Whereas reward, it causes you to move forward, to learn, to reevaluate, to make small changes. It's just part of the growth. It's the part of the sanctification process. So risk doesn't make promises. All it does is make excuses. They say, oh, evangelism isn't my gift. Oh, it's not my thing. It says, I don't want to look foolish. It says, I'm not one of those Christians. It's too hard. Oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? Oh, I hate to read. People even told me I hate to read. That's their excuse for not going out and sharing the gospel. And they say, I don't know enough, but they neglect to learn. Now, the person who is in the reward, it's a growing and learning experience. They say, I'm not where I need to be, but how do I get there? It says, what do I need to learn? As it says in 1 Timothy 2:15, it says, study to show yourself approved, a workman who needs not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. It says, how can I evaluate my evangelism style? How can I be more unique? What can I do that's different? How can I be myself and still get through this? Okay. Now, risk. What's the problem? And how come people don't push forward with risk? Is that their fear. They're overcome with fear. And we have to look at it as maybe they're not saved. Maybe they're struggling. And it's okay to struggle, but it's like learning a new job. Are you going to make your fears? Are you going to cause your fears to overcome your ability to learn? You have to learn the job. And that's what you're getting paid to do. You're getting paid to do something, and you go out and do it. And it's amazing how much you'll read when you hate to read for your job and when it comes to money. But when it comes to sharing the gospel, people make excuses all the time, and it's frustrating. That's why a lot of us evangelists who share the gospel, they call it club frustration. It's where the party never starts. What does a person need who's overcome with fear? They need faith. They need to trust the Lord. And they need to repent of the apathy and the pride that they are feeling. And they might not be saved and need to get saved. So what do we do? What do we receive when we figure it all out? We receive joy. We receive peace. We want to do it more and more and get better at it. We want to improve for the gospel's sake, for Christ's sake. And and what we really need to think about too is that there are rewards through the persecution. Matthew, at the end of towards the middle of the Sermon on the Mount, in Matthew 5:10 through 12, it says, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." So blessed are you when you're persecuted for righteousness' sake, for yours is the kingdom of heaven. Those rewards aren't going to come today or tomorrow. They're going to come later. They're long term. And it goes on to say, blessed are you when they revile you and persecute you and say so evil against you falsely for my name's sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. See, it says it twice. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. See, you're not alone. We're all on the same team, and we're doing the same things. If they persecuted Christ, what do you think they're going to do to us? We can't look at that. We can't look at it like that. We can't let our fears overcome the need to share the gospel and going to share the gospel. One thing that my pastor had said in a sermon one time, he says, there's 3 frogs on a log. One decided to jump in. How many are left on the log? The answer? 3. Because deciding to do something is not actually doing it. Something to think about. Hey, you need help, I'm right here. I can be available at any time. And yeah, let's do this together. And together we can go share the gospel, advance the kingdom for his name's sake. And who knows, maybe the people that you share the gospel to, you'll actually see in heaven. So like and subscribe if you like this content. And just being real with you guys. But yeah, I'll see you around soon. God bless.